रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः. Uttarakhand, chapter number 40. The boons of Hanuman. The recitation begins now. Thereupon, Rama, being stricken with curiosity, with folded palms, and humbly accosted Agastya, residing in the southern quarter, with pregnant accents, saying, Thou sayest that Ravana and Vali had unequal strength, but methinks theirs cannot equal that of Hanuman. Heroism, liberality, strength, patience, intellect, knowledge of laws and means, prowess and energy all exist together in Hanuman. When the monkey hosts lost heart on beholding the ocean, Hanuman consoled everyone and crossed over the deep ocean extending over 100 yojanas. Having defeated the presiding goddess of Lanka and on beholding Sita there, he consoled Sita. What to speak of more, Hanuman single-handedly slew Ravana's commander-in-chief, the minister's son, his servants, and his one son. Being released from the Brahma weapon, Hanuman remonstrated with Ravana and reduced Lanka into ashes like unto fire burning down the earth. What I have seen myself performed by Hanuman in the conflict is above the power of Kala, Vasava, and even the Lord of Riches. It is by the strength of the arms of the wind god's son that I have obtained Lanka, Sita, Lakshmana, victory, kingdom, and my friends. What more, had not Hanuman, the friend of the king of monkeys, Sugriva, been in my company, who could have brought the news of Sita's existence? Why did not Hanuman, although wishing welfare unto Sugriva, reduce Vali to ashes like so many creepers on the occasion of his quarrel with Sugriva? Methinks, and therefore he stooped to witness the miseries of Sugriva, the king of monkeys, who was dearer than his own life. O thou worshipped of the immortals, do thou truly describe unto me this action of Hanuman. Hearing those well-meaning words of Raghava, the ascetic Agastya said to him in the presence of Hanuman, O foremost of Raghus, what thou hast said regarding Hanuman is all true. As regards strength, velocity, and intellect, there is none who can stand equal to Hanuman. O repressor of enemies, in the days of yore, Hanuman was imprecated by the ascetics, whose curses never became fruitless, to the effect that he would never be conscious of his whole strength. I am not capable of describing to thee the wondrous childish feat which Hanuman did perform in his boyhood. But if thou art, O Raghava, greatly anxious to hear it, I shall relate. Do thou listen with a quiescent mind. Hanuman's father Kesari reigned in the mountain Sumeru, which resembles gold by the influence of the sun. Kesari had a well-known wife by the name Anjana, to whom he was greatly attached. The wind god begot on Anjana an excellent son. Repairing to a dense forest for collecting fruits, that excellent damsel gave birth to Hanuman resembling the tip of a solar tree and went away. Being distressed with hunger on account of the absence of his mother, Hanuman, just born, cried like Kartikeya, the commander-in-chief of the celestials in the forest of Saris. At this time, the sun resembling Yava flowers having risen, Hanuman, to get a fruit, sprang up. Being desirous of holding the newly risen sun, Hanuman, resembling it, began to leap in the middle of the welkin. The baby Hanuman, having thus ascended the sky, celestials, Danvas, and Yakshas surprisingly exclaimed, The velocity with which Marut's son is going is not possessed even by the wind god, Garuda, or the mind. If he has got such vehemence in his boyhood, what great strength he shall have in his youth. His own son, thus leaping, the wind became cool by the touch of snow, began to follow him, proceeding in the sky, lest the rays of the sun might scorch him. Rising high up in the sky on account of childish freaks and traversed many thousands of leagues by the help of his father, Hanuman neared the sun. considering that he was just a child and therefore not tarnished by any sin, and that a great divine work would be accomplished by him in future, the sun did not burn Hanuman. At that very day, when Hanuman sprang up to hold the sun, Rahu too essayed to possess him. Having touched the top of the sun's car, Hanuman touched Rahu. So he, the represser of the moon's rays, accordingly went back on beholding the sun thus possessed. And repairing to the house of Indra, Sinhika's son Rahu, in wrath and with frown, said to him, encircled by the celestials, O Vasava, O slayer of Bala and Vritra, to remove my hunger thou didst give me both the sun and the moon to eat. Why thou hast then given them to another? On account of the Parva I came to devour the sun, but another Rahu came and possessed him. Hearing the words of Rahu, the king of deities, wearing a golden garland, having his understanding bewildered, proceeded on the back of his chief elephant, Airavata, huge like the summit of the Kailasa mountain, with temporal juice always trickling, having 4 tusks, roaring and adorned with golden bells, towards Hanuman and the sun with Rahu before him. Having left behind Indra, Rahu quickly went there but fled away on beholding the huge-bodied Hanuman resembling a mountain summit. Thereupon, leaving aside the sun and being desirous of holding Rahu, the son of Singhika, considering him as a fruit, Hanuman again sprang up into the sky. Beholding Hanuman approach, renouncing the sun, Rahu, with his countenance only visible, desisted and went back. And considering Indra as a savior, he again and again cried aloud, Indra! Indra! Understanding everything by the piteous accents of Rahu, Indra said, No fear, I shall soon slay him. Thereupon, beholding the huge-bodied Airavata and considering him as a bigger fruit, Marathi ran towards him. Proceeding thus tempestuously, when he rose above the head of Indra, Hanuman looked in a moment dreadful like the fire of dissolution. But not greatly enraged, the 1,000-eyed lord of Sachi, with his thunderbolt in hand, struck the running Hanuman. Belabored by the thunderbolt of Indra, Hanuman fell down and broke his left jaw. He, being thus overwhelmed by the stroke of Indra's thunderbolt, the wind god became displeased with the king of celestials and was determined upon bringing about mischief unto all created beings. The all-comprehending wind, not spreading himself, entered into a cave with his beloved son. Like unto Vasava, distressing all creatures by putting a stop to the showers, the wind too put all animals into unbearable suffering by obstructing all execrations. On account of the anger of the wind god, their breath was completely obstructed, and the joints, as if pierced, became hard as wood. Sadhya, Vasatkar, and all the religious observances of the triple world were put to stop by the anger of the wind god. So the 3 worlds appeared as if stricken with sorrow. Thereupon the afflicted celestials, Gandharvas, Asuras, and men repaired to the patriarch Brahma with a view to bring about the well-being of all created beings. And with their bellies swollen for the obstruction of the wind, the celestials with folded hands said, O Lord of created beings, thou hast created 4 classes of beings, and thou hast given us wind to preserve our lives. But we do not know why the wind, the Lord of beings, is distressing us by obstructing our movements like unto females confined in an inner apartment. Being thus distressed by the wind, we have come to seek thy shelter. O thou, the remover of miseries, do thou remove our afflictions consequent upon the obstruction of the wind. Hearing those words of the created beings, their lord, the patriarch Brahma, said again, Hear why the wind, being enraged, has obstructed the course of all beings. Hearing the words of Rahu, Indra, the king of celestials, hath belabored the son of the wind god. It is for this that he hath been offended. Preserving the bodied, the wind, having no person, passes through them all. Without wind, the body becomes like wood. Therefore, the wind constitutes the life, the happiness, and the whole universe. Renouncing the wind, the world cannot attain to happiness. Being cast off by the wind and having their breaths obstructed, behold, the world today appeareth like dried wood. Let us therefore go there where the wind, the giver of our afflictions, waiteth. If we do not please the son of Aditi, we shall all meet with destruction. Thereupon the patriarch Brahma, the celestials, Gandharvas, serpents, Guhyakas, and other created beings went where the wind was waiting with his own son, belabored by the king of celestials. Thereupon, beholding that baby boy on the lap of the wind god resembling gold and Vaisvanar, the four-mouthed Brahma, the celestials, Gandharvas, Rishis, Yakshas, and Rakshasas were all moved with pity. Then Brahma summoned Vayu and said, "Don't be afraid, your child with my blessing will be an immortal hero." When these words were uttered by Lord Brahma, Vayu was satisfied. "Rise up, my beloved child," said Brahma, and the child woke up as if nothing had happened. Not only this, Brahma showered a rain of blessing on this little boy. It also included immunity from his weapons such as the Brahmastra and the Brahmashiras. Indra named the baby Hanuman and gave him immunity from the effects of the thunderbolt. Surya gave him a portion of his resplendence and agreed to be his teacher when he was ready. Varuna gave him immunity from his noose. Yama gave him immunity from his noose. Kubera said that Hanuman will never be tired in combat and he is also immune from his weapons. Lord Shiva made Hanuman immune from his weapons such as the Trishul and the Maheshwara and the Pashupatastra. Lord Brahma then blessed Hanuman with longevity, the immunity from Brahmastra, the ability to assume any form, to travel at any speed, and unimpeded movement. Brahma also promised Lord Vayu that this little baby will perform amazing, wonderful deeds for Lord Rama. The happy Vayu resuscitated the entire world. All the living entities were revived, and then Hanuman was brought back to his loving parents, Anjana and Kesari. In his childhood, Hanuman began to play some pranks with great rishis, the sages who were doing meditation in their cottages. He threw their water pots, desecrated their yagnishalas, cast mud and stones, and screamed and became a little nuisance. The rishis knew of the divine task ahead of Hanuman, and they did not want to do anything to contradict the blessings of Lord Brahma himself. And therefore they cursed Hanuman into forgetting his own miraculous powers until someone reminded him of them at the apt time. This curse had such an effect that Hanuman immediately forgot his marvelous strength and, docile and humble, he crawled away. Soon he became the disciple of Lord Vivaswan. From the time Surya rose from the Udayagiri and set in the Astamagiri, Hanuman learned all the scriptures, all the grammar, and every single knowledge was passed on to him by Lord Surya. Thereupon, Hanuman became very good friends with Surya's son, Sugriva, and these two were inseparable since their childhood. But Hanuman, due to the curse of the rishis, forgot his marvelous strength and did not help Sugriva by killing Vali. Thus sage Agastya concluded the narration of Hanuman's marvelous birth and his childhood. He informed Lord Rama that Hanuman is destined to be a Brahma of one of the universes. Mangalam Koshlendraya Mahaniya Gunabde Chakravarti Dhanurjaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.